Hello everybody, welcome to the Netherblock, the show where we build a 64 by 64 by 64 block of netherrack into
I'm
Minecraft.
Joe.
I'm Al, and everybody else is... Where's everybody else at?
I don't know. They're around here somewhere.
Are they? Okay. Now that I've started... I don't know if that's the direction I want to go with that bit, Joe. I know where everybody else is at. If I have to start off pretending where they're not, like, I've just realized I don't know when I would bail out on that.
Carry that through the entire recording.
Yeah.
You'll have to be like, you could play it up, like when Tony gets on, be like, what? Why does your voice sound so strange, Joe?
I kind of want to talk about what's going on with you guys, though. And
yeah,
so,
that's probably going to have to
then
happen.
I would miss all of that.
Our pristine comedic timing has clearly got this already locked down. I have to actually go out and forage wood like a hobo. Everyone's in New York with me.
Yes.
Except Albert.
I was going to say everybody except for me, which is fine. I just chose to stay home because my kids are starting school.
Heartfeltly.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoyed the food we've eaten so far.
I probably would have. I can't imagine. I don't know. There's a part of me that just like thinking about New York and being there gets like stressed out. But
yes, I do think that the length of the trip that we have going on might get to you a bit. And with you added in 4 in my apartment, might start to get a little too on top of each other.
All right.
Where were you? Well, I guess, did you put whatever you were talking about on the bonus podcast? And lag.
Oh, I didn't know if I wanted to talk here about it.
Understood.
Because
Understandable.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good thing, and now that I've talked it up, I think I do have to at least mention.
I sort of set you up there. I'm sorry.
That. Well, no, I had just, so I follow The Asylum on Twitter, for those of you who might somehow be unaware of this after having watched some of these. The Asylum is a movie company that makes what they call mockbusters. Like, they don't call them mockbusters, but people do. They're rip-offs of more popular Hollywood movies with similar titles.
They use that phrase. Are they making your Descartes, Hobbes, and...
It's Descartes, Hobbes, and Shaw. Yeah, it's a philosophy drama, historical. But they do race cars. It's weird. No. They have a Sharknado theme park now.
Get out. Where?
It's called. Well, that's the amazing part. It's like in Malaysia. I guess they haven't heard of like 3D theater effects, so they're all just like blown away by the fact that you can put on glasses and see cool things.
Oh, you sit in a chair and the chair moves kind of thing?
Yeah. I don't actually, I have the article open on my other monitor, but I don't want to sort of like take away from the experience of Minecraft by going and reading
1,000 patrons, and we will send Al to the Sharknado theme park.
That is a good, yes, I like that. I like all of that. Go be a patron. I want to go to the Sharknado theme park.
Where's Malaysia?
I actually think I might be wrong. It might be Kuala Lumpur.
Oh no! Did I let zombies into the?
I'm not insinuating that those two places are close together, but like in my head, they're sort of in the category of places that I know the names of, but couldn't tell you anything else about.
Yes.
And I'm sorry to Malaysian people.
I don't know if apologies. I'd like to think that your average level-headed person understands that the human brain and the human experience doesn't encompass everything automatically, and might be excited to teach you about their place. That's usually how I react when people are like, "I've never been to." Like, I'm pumped to have Komette and Tony here on their first trip to New York. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. You can keep learning things throughout your life, and then you're like. Yeah. You know, you're like a 70-year-old who reads a book and you're like, wait a minute, I was wrong about this for literally my entire life.
Then you die.
I guess? And then you can judge other people who also don't know about the thing?
I don't know where to mine.
It's a nether place full of nether.
I know, but I usually go to the park and then go to places, but the park now has just deadly drops everywhere to get out of the park.
Joe and the Deadly Drops.
Which is,
It's a radio drama from the 50s. So, to clarify, Tony and Komette will actually be rotating in a moment with Joe, from Joe, for Joe.
What do you mean? We don't know where they are.
No, we definitely didn't do that bit.
No, we can switch back and forth because we're terrible at comedy, so we have that option. Oh no! I also just realized how little I'm gonna get done in this nether block.
Yay! You're not going to let them control your avatar?
No, I made the hard decision earlier to have them switch into their own.
You crashed one of Komette's cars in Netherblock World when you were trying to do a delivery with her?
Why don't you discuss that briefly?
Maybe I should bring it up when she comes on if I remember it.
We should make a list of everything we talk about, and you have to have the exact same topics.
You go first.
With everyone else.
You make the list.
How different the conversation goes.
Me and Komette were running a delivery in GTA recently, and I crashed one of her cars. And
well, the story she tells is that you deliberately went into the ocean.
I took a shortcut, and it didn't work out. And it wasn't the ocean; it was just a big river.
But I couldn't get across. I'm gonna go off road.
It was like one of those like, oh, this road is like a hairpin. I'll just go down to the next one. This will be fine. And then there was another hairpin. I was like, great, I'll just keep going. And then, the checkpoint was in the distance. And I thought, why don't I just beeline it to the checkpoint? And then there was an obstacle, and the obstacle was a deep river, and I drowned the car.
Losing Komette money. And now Komette refuses to help Albert. Or no, she wants her pound of flesh.
Yes, she won't help me without crashing my cars. Which, this is probably more technical than people want to do, but I have run into a weird issue with my car warehouse where... like, I keep doing missions, and it keeps not giving me top-end cars.
I can look into that.
Like, I have 3 top-end cars left, and I keep picking up what I think are top-end cars, and then they're not in the top-end menu. But, again, that's probably not, like, fun for people to hear.
I'll look into that when we're on again next. I
have no end of problems with GTA. Just that from a...
Albert's been running the game flawlessly and seamlessly from his account. It's pretty amazing.
It's a problem. I don't know.
There's been so many problems with Albert and his GTA account.
I just realized what a grind. Like, we're trying to, level up so we can have money, so we can have things to buy, other things for the Let's Plays.
For you, the consumer.
And, I just I spent a bunch of time working to get fake money to buy a thing that would allow me to work less to get the fake money. And then, now that I have that, I need more fake money so that I can expand my ability to not work to get the...
To be fair, this whole process is a lot easier if your game is working correctly. I maxed out my fake money earning potential pretty quickly, whereas Albert, because it's broken for him, has had to do it more grindily. And that's been a thing.
You also, I think, had bought a lot of the businesses that you could earn from before you got the nightclub.
Yes.
So that's something that I still have to, I don't know why this turned into GTA talk in Minecraft, but I still don't have the bunker, I don't have a hangar, like, I have 2 types of businesses.
But,
and that's it.
Again, with a properly working account, Komette was able to get all of those in one weekend. It happened to be a sale weekend, but she's already got, like...
And sales don't work for me, which is another thing.
Yes.
That's broken for me.
It's a thing, for certain. I'm going to go to the block with very few nether blocks just so I can lay something.
Alright. Well,
is it
daytime? Can we sleep until...
I just saw you go through the portal.
Why would we get interrupted,
Joe?
Joe?
You're asking me.
Have you seen Komette and Tony, by the way? I haven't heard from them all weekend.
No. Really? That's weird. I don't know. I'm going to clear the weather because I can't stand the rain when I'm editing. Although making proxies helps that a lot. It is daytime!
I slept to it just now.
Oh, excellent. While you were asking me if it was daytime? I didn't understand that. I literally watched you walk through the portal.
I couldn't tell, like, if it was just overcast because it was raining or if it was actually dark. The rain seems a lot less frequent than it used to be, to me. Maybe it's just because you clear it. Like, there was, back when we were working on the dirt block.
It seemed like there was a lot of rain.
All the time there was rain.
I don't know if that's like a, what's the term for that? Or you notice it because you're noticing it? Without data, it's hard to be like, yes, clearly there's more rain.
Oh, that's a good point.
I forget what it's called, though. Man, I know we've mentioned this, but it takes a long time to get up to the block.
Not confirmation. I guess not well, it's related to confirmation bias.
That's pretty close. Have you... So... Again, to harp on this, but the Dwarf Fortress I just edited I enjoyed thoroughly. I'm wondering... Bad guys! If you listen to the Mammoth in HR yet. Because,
yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, I did.
I will probably edit that in. So, Bill, Linda from HR tells me you keep turning into a mammoth. This is not really what we're going for here at Alsport. This is just a terrible idea. I'm not sure what I'm doing.
You don't have armor, right?
Nope.
Like,
No,
you're
I
not
don't.
armored at all.
I also, however, have nothing to lose. Now I have something to lose.
I'm pretty sure I have armor.
You have armor, but you also have, like, gear you want to keep, I would think. Called armor.
Like the armor? Yeah.
Yes, ironically. Oh, the irony.
It's made out of iron, too. Oh, hey, Mr. Skeleton. Oh, you're not even gonna... Okay, you're down here. Why don't you come and get me?
I'm gonna get this leather guy. That was a big pod that...
Come at me. Come at me, bro.
This guy's, like, charging me!
Does he go... I'm sorry, bud. You died.
I don't know why I went after the armored one. And again, I had
You
nothing...
actually said out loud, too. You were like...
Yeah, yep.
I'm gonna go after this... Like, the leather was armor. You understood that, right?
Yeah. Again, I have nothing. So I dropped 8 pickaxes and 3 blocks of nether, and that's it. Like, that's really not... There's a freedom that comes with playing terribly all the time. I guess I lost some XP, but I haven't had gear to enchant in ages.
Was that like living in the trailer park? Where you're like, listen, all I need is my beer and my buds. My buds and my bud.
My meth. Sorry, that's a terrible stereotype. I should not perpetuate that. I'm sure many fine citizens live in
Were we talking about Malaysian people?
Or Kuala Lumpurians.
Yes.
I'm not sure which. I always mix them up.
Wait, these guys just now spawned some more? Oh, and there's
really?
a spider up in there. Okay, you're just wearing pants. You're not allowed to be like, oh, I'm smug now, because I've got pants on. Those won't stop you from
What exactly
dying.
made him smug?
Well,
Out of
I thought he could
curiosity.
come. He was like, I can come after you, but you can't.
Look at him,
'cause
he's
you
wearing
just-
pants! You weren't kidding! What is that
What?
about?
Maybe they're your pants? I
Where's
don't-
the rest of your... Ah!
I'm about to die. Bob and weave.
No, Mr. President, no!
Mr. President? He has a name? I'm gonna go down here
I
and
don't in
eat.
front of you. That's the... Oh, hello! This guy's cheeky.
Good job, Joe.
I mean,
Why don't I have a bow? I have
Why
wood.
don't-
I'm pretty
You
sure I
have-
could find some string.
They literally dropped arrows. But no, going to once again ascend these endless stairs.
I've got pretty good armor. All right, come at me, bro. Whoa, there. Why are there 800 creepers up there now?
This is ridiculous. It's a good thing we slept till day. Don't worry, you'll have my backup soon. I also like to think I'm going to check that out on the tape. I think I saved your life just then.
I ran away and ate.
But I dove in front of arrows that were headed at you. That's why I
Oh,
screamed
yeah?
out, be careful, Mr. President. Yes, that was that
Oh,
entire
I
joke.
thought
Did
you were
not...
saying. I couldn't figure out. I was like, is it because he's wearing gold pants and nothing else?
Yep,
And it's like
that's
some weird
exactly
Donald
it.
Trump joke?
Yep. Not
'Cause
even
I
Donald
can't-
Trump. Ever since
can't
George
get
Washington,
to-
that's how I think about presidents. Why are there no torches on the Netherblock? Oh,
I'm actually
they're all
not
dead.
sure
Oh,
it was.
nope.
I did sleep today. I'm still not, because it's already going. The sun's already going down. Look at all those creepers up there.
Trying to get me to turn out of the Hulk. That was an Avengers joke. Oh, and there's more rain. That is just a bad neighborhood over there. That is like...
Hey, the lightning lit it up a little bit.
Hopefully we get those spider jockeys. Skeleton horses, whatever they are. I'm just amazed at how dangerous this corner looks.
I'm just gonna go down and go to sleep. There's nothing that I can do up there that I want to do.
Right. I'll do this. To officially have laid some nether. And then I'll run away. Much like
I gotta
a
check my
Malaysian.
email real quick.
Microwave's been on for a very long time. Not sure what's happening over there.
Your microphone's been on for a long time. Is that what you said?
A microwave.
Oh, maybe they're making like a frozen lasagna in there. Like a whole
Right.
like party-sized full vat frozen lasagna.
I don't know, it fit in my microwave? But, okay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
I've heard you can actually cook a Thanksgiving turkey in the microwave.
I mean, that seems like it would be terrible. You can quote-unquote cook a lot of things in your microwave, but do you want to eat them after you've cooked them? This is going to work out perfectly, by the way.
I mean, I don't... I wonder, I don't know what it is about the microwave that makes things taste like they were cooked in the microwave.
It's because there's no searing. It only heats the water inside, which leaves a lot of the flavors that we like when we cook. Goodbye.
Alright, that's Joe's time, I guess. I didn't realize he wasn't gonna finish his sentence. I have to wait for somebody else to log on.
Tony.
Now it's just me. Please become a patron. I know 1,000 patrons is a lot compared to what we have now, but gee golly, I really want to go to that Sharknado park in Malaysia or Kuala Lumpur. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I've got it on my screen now. Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. No. Where is it? Darn it. I'm gonna find it. It's odd how rarely articles from a certain country... Oh, it's Malaysia. Yes. Okay.
Alright, we're talking about Malaysia. What's going on in Malaysia?
They have a Sharknado theme park opening over there.
Wow. I didn't think it was big enough to merit that.
It's Malaysia, so...
I mean, I could see a ride. Be like, alright, so you're gonna get in this
I'm
tornado.
Sorry, you're right. It's a ride, not a whole theme park.
Okay.
I apologize. That's probably, the next step.
Yeah.
It'll be in North Korea.
Like Sharknado 20.
Just like somewhere that's desperate for any kind of entertainment. Like, we'll take a Sharknado-themed entire amusement park. Please. Anything.
It says there are 2 people on the realm right now. Who is the other person?
It's me and there's you.
Ah, it lied.
You.
Alright. Well, I hadn't logged in yet, Joe. Alright, I am in my skin. I am loaded in.
Oh, it rhymed! Tony, you made a rhyme.
I know. I'm just a regular Dr. Seuss right now.
Man, it's just me and Tony. It's so rarely me and Tony anymore.
Yeah, like, we don't have any, like, gaming products. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, if we had more time for editing stuff, I'd love to, like, actually find a game where we could yell at each other over it.
Yeah. We do, bad ideas, but that's not, like... It's not as much just sort of free-form conversation in that.
Yeah, it's like, this whole thing started because we had a mostly free-form conversation podcast. Like, at least half of every episode was just free-form. And even whenever we were talking about the movies and stuff, it wasn't quite so, like,
we didn't have anything, rigid. Like, written down beyond maybe, like, notes. This scene, good. Like this scene.
And even then, there were a lot of times where it's like, I don't remember, I don't need notes. And that's why
we were failures as podcasters.
Yes.
Although now we have lots of notes. Debatable whether we've succeeded because of that.
I mean, it's already, like, there's a lot more downloads per episode on that than there was on Human Echoes, though. Like, that's easily our biggest product.
Yeah, it depends how you measure it. It's interesting how podcasting as an audio medium is, like, nobody knows what's, like, a good number. Right?
Yeah,
like, you think, like, 100 people downloaded this, but then... Is that a good thing? Like, it does that download number of 100, and we get more than 100 on these, but I'm like...
Yeah, like, that's in the, like, sometimes needing commas type levels. And, like, that's... I don't know, like, it's weird to tell, but, like, advertisers think that it's just the raw downloads, but we don't have any metrics on that. It seems like it'd be so easy to fake, like, to get bots just to, like, ping the server to get downloads. Like, that you could be like, oh, we've got 20,000 per episode. You've got to pay us, like, $5 per 1,000.
They would know if nobody went to the, like... They assume that somebody's gonna, like, go in and type in the promo code, Hepsters or whatever.
Yeah, the promo codes definitely have to do something, and you can only fake that so many times.
Right. Can you imagine, like... You're doing... What was the guy's name who had the fake band? I forgot. I want to say Thunder Levin, and that's clearly not right. I've got Sharknado on the brain. Oh, Threaten!
Oh,
remember Threaten? Or he, like, bought all those... You would be, like, in a Threaten level quandary where you're just, like, buying mattresses at Casper so that they think you have, like, 1,000 people showing up to your gigs.
Yeah, it's like those people whose family members, like, have bought 15 copies of their book on Amazon just to make the self-published people's rate go up. I
mean, it's a good... Once you know that that's a thing that you can do, like, why would you not do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't blame anybody. I'm just saying it's one of those things where you're putting a little bit of an investment in there in the first place.
They do the same thing.
Sometimes pays off.
I think, like, real publishers do the same thing with the New York Times list because they find out which bookshops the New York Times monitors for sales, and they just, like, buy 100 copies of whatever book they want to say is New York Times material, and then it pops in there.
Yeah, it's just enough to like register and get rolling again.
There is also the thing that, from what I've heard, the New York Times bestseller list isn't actually like, it's not a data-driven thing exactly. It's not like if exactly this many copies are sold of any book, it makes it on the bestseller list. They sort of curate it more than that. So
yeah, like I've heard that a lot, especially because you see a lot of political books get pushed on there or taken off of there, depending on who it is.
Right.
So it's like there's a little bit of a motive there, and I can see certain books just never getting on there. Like Alex Jones can sell 1 million copies, and he might not get on that list.
That's probably true on both fronts. And I don't necessarily think it's. I mean, it's their newspaper.
It's their list. I don't care.
Like that's.
If it was like the National Registry of the amount of books sold in a week, like as said by the government, maybe I'd be like, that's a little bit bull.
Everything is squishy.
Yep.
I think is how I want to say that.
Everything is falling apart.
Because people like to complain the same thing about YouTube. It's like on the one hand they're like a private company, on the other hand they seem to be like a pretty dominant force in our media world right now, and if they like push the levers, you know, if they influence people like 1% in one direction, the fact that like everybody's on YouTube, that's going to be a huge seismic shift.
Yeah, well, it's like that girl that Komette was telling us about, where she got 1.5 million subs the first week that she made her channel. It's like, was that a weird experiment where Google was like, all right, let's just turn the knob and see what happens whenever we give 15 million recommendations to somebody, or was that something where like she just hit the SEO right?
Yeah, I don't know. And not knowing is, I think, what makes people the most mad. It's like they want to... Now, I think people have always not known stuff, but people want to feel like they have certainty about the world.
Yeah, well, we're following a lot of like the right rules, and we don't have as many views as we could if we were like doing some other things. It's like part of me wants to just set up like 50 proxy computer zombies that always have our content going on all over the world with thumbs up happening all the time, so that we can cheat the system. But I also don't know if that would be something that eventually gets our channel banned.
Well, we just read off the numbers today, and they say that view duration per video is a hugely important thing for YouTube. Well, we just read off on the gaming channel, our average view duration is 17 minutes. Now, the views are pitiful, and YouTube's not recommending that stuff to anybody, apparently. But the people who show up watch it for 17 minutes on average. Like, come on, YouTube, we're doing the thing.
And that's almost the length of like the average sitcom.
Yeah,
it's a few minutes shy.
And that's average, so that means, like, you know, the guy who, like, clicks off immediately, and, you know, he accounts for half of that. Well, not about half, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
you know how averages work.
If you're on this channel, you're smart enough to know averages.
I don't know about that, Tony. I don't think most people are smart enough to know averages.
Maybe I just had a normal education. We were done with averages by, like, 4th grade.
Speaking of which, I got people going to school again, Tony. All my 18 kids, send them off to school.
Yeah.
Meet their teachers.
Whenever you surrounded that 18 number, I was like, man, you could have them in a versus baseball game to see who gets to eat that night.
Okay, so the 18 is an exaggeration, but the, like, can we have more food thing is not. Like, I cooked, like, what I thought was a substantial amount of hot dogs the other night, and they were like... the hot dogs were all gone, and there were still children who wanted to eat more, and I was like, I can't tell if y'all are gonna get fat, or if I'm being a bad dad, or what exactly is going on here, but here's some green beans. There's a can of green beans. And then they were actually, like, thrilled with that, which I can't understand, because...
That is pretty weird.
I hated green beans.
I didn't like green beans until I was in my 20s. But I also had only, like, growing up, I thought green beans were mushy and gross. I had only had green beans out of a can, and that's just not right. I
will say, I've had some canned green beans recently. I don't know if it's my tastes, or maybe the canning is getting better, but they weren't, like, they're not as mushy and gross as I remember them. Maybe it's because I'm not getting the French cut, like, where they're split down the middle, so they're not floppy.
Could be. I just hate that, like, especially because I like to put mine in the oven, get them even crispier, a little bit of olive oil, some salt.
That's some good stuff. Yeah, like, if you got the raw ones, and you cook them from
raw.
Yeah,
compared to just, here's a can of mushy.
People don't like oven their vegetables often enough, including me, by the way. Like, oven roasted turnips and, like, radishes and stuff, that's some legit food right there.
Oh, yeah. Like, especially if you get that like slight bit of crispiness on the outside.
Yeah, yeah. And
and occasionally, if you want to make them bad for you, you do like a glaze.
I'm going down because it's nighttime.
Oh yeah, we should probably sleep. I almost made it to the block.
You've got 5 more minutes, Tony. Well, actually more than that. Does Joe have the timer up in front of you?
He does not.
Is there a shepherd's crook comedically poised just off stage ready to yank you out of your chair? Because that's how Joe exited.
There's a lot of random things that are here, and like there is some sort of crook, but I don't think it's for yanking me off of this.
You're calling Joe a criminal?
No. We are in New York.
Subtle Bill de Blasio joke.
Yes. There are some odd things I've noticed about New York so far. Like, nobody smokes in New York.
Good.
Why did I go back into the Nether? Like, there's just like, I've not seen cigarette smokers, which I think they've passed a bunch of stuff where you can't even smoke outside anymore, which is weird to me.
Do you think that like, I would love to, I wish Joe was on the call now. I'm kind of bummed that I can't ask him about this.
I mean, I could yell for him.
I'm just curious, do you think that actually changed people's minds where they're like, well, I guess
I think that
it's hard to smoke, so I won't?
There's probably a fair amount of people that did. Like, once you, like, if you were to look at the number of smokers over the course of years and see, like, how many quit in New York whenever they couldn't go outside and have the social aspect of smoking anymore, I think that, honestly, it's probably a good idea for that, but it's also, like, the freedom side of me is like, oh, you guys should go kill yourselves for doing that.
Well, there's, I guess the question...
It's an overreach of power.
I have is, if you can make something, I don't know, 1% or 10% less easy to do, how much does that, like, do you get a 1% or a 10% result out of that, or do you get, like, a 10 or a 30% result? Because
it's an interesting question. Like, I would say that that's a bigger than 10% thing, because then you have to sacrifice your house and make your house always smell like cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And a lot of apartments, especially out here, because most people are renting, like, aren't going to allow you to do that.
Oh, I didn't think about the whole rental thing either. Okay. That's a good point.
Like, I would say that is, like, if the goal is to get people to quit smoking, they probably did a pretty good job. Like, Fort Collins made it so that you couldn't smoke, like, downtown. And I know a bunch of people were pissed off about that, but it's not very well enforced. So if you just go, like, in an alley, nobody's going to care. And I'm sure there are areas like that here, but it seems like everything's just very... The city is so much cleaner than I expected.
That's good. I'm glad it doesn't suck.
No, it's definitely been a lot of fun to be out here, too. Like, even if we did spend our first night in a LAN party, which I'm sure Joe talked about.
I think you guys mentioned it. I heard you guys talking about it in the Discord. I don't know if you talked about it on here.
Like, last night we were all pretty tired, and, like, instead of going out and doing a bunch of New York things, we literally just played Sky Factory and hung out.
I was going to argue on your usage of the word LAN, but I guess if it's a local area network and...
it's connecting to my computer back home, so it's set up, and we're all using the same Wi-Fi. Like, it's literally the server I set up.
Right, but you're all in the same place, but the server's far away, so that's a weird one.
Yeah, it's more that, what else do you call it? Like, a LAN party was the normal...
People just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I say people. That was the only way you could game for a while, so people just did that. I had a great time playing.
One of my friend's dads worked he had like a T1 line set up in his house and like a legit server. So it was fun to go to that kid's house, and then they murdered people and are in jail forever.
Okay, well, that took a turn. I've been having some fun playing Super Mario Maker recently, and I did couch co-op with my kids on some levels I downloaded, and we did that yesterday, and that was just a blast. I mean,
I know most of those people that are making levels for it aren't the sadists that you see on YouTube. Like, are there just some incredibly like cool looking levels, or is it all just hardcore?
Oh no. Okay, yeah. So the people who are playing on YouTube are like picking those levels on purpose. Like they.
Yeah, I figured. I want to see some like awesome like weird Rube Goldberg style levels where you just like slide through the whole thing.
Yes, you've got
I just want to see some cool stuff like
There's like they have some really cool mechanics in Mario Maker. There's an on-off switch that you can either jump or like hit a shell into, and people make some really amazing levels around that concept because it can switch platforms on or off, like especially like the platforms that are a certain color react to the Switch in a certain way, and you can also change tracks from going one way or the other. So you can imagine that opens up a bunch of things.
I saw some weird ones where it's like you go through the tunnel and it like changes like the world behind, and like sometimes it'll be like a POW block and sometimes it won't be.
They even built
There's so
somewhere
many weird mechanics.
like they use the booze to detect if you're looking left or right. So the boo is like sitting right next to something that'll explode, or it can trigger something, right, if it moves. And so they have a level where you are not allowed to look to the right, which means you have to be looking backwards non-stop and just jump and do like ground pounds down slope the whole way.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm finishing this row, and then it's going to be Komette's turn.
Okay. I was going to say, they also have like just bad levels, so that's a thing.
Just stuff that doesn't work?
Yeah, it's just like nasty. Like, you know, some kid who threw out like 8 blocks and 200 Bowser, not 200 Bowsers, but, you know, like, I'll just put a bunch of Bowsers in. Anyway, see you, Tony. Enjoy New York. Now the Komette will emerge from the shower. Hello.
How goes it?
It goes okay.
Good.
You're looking at the fish. I'm not in New York, so that's going amazing for me.
Hey, New York is going amazing for me too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's...
Just met all my kids' teachers. The 4th grade teacher doesn't know the speed of light, so that's not great.
Man.
It was 1,000,000 miles per second.
That's no good.
It does not. It's 186,000 miles per second. Like, you can't have kids come.
Did you quiz her or something? Were you like, quick?
Okay, first of all, it was a dude, Komette.
Oh.
Check your
wow.
gender privilege, I
Totally
guess.
gotta check my...
How dare you assume all teachers are women? It's because women are really good at nurturing children, and that's absolutely fine. Because that is the majority of them. But this was a guy. And he seems fine. But, yeah, he didn't know it off the top of his head. He Googled it, though, so I'll give him props for that.
Oh,
He looked
well,
it
at least
up.
he did that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why it came up. I just heard somebody in the background say something about the speed of light. It's like, I think it's like 1,000,000 miles per second. I was like, my former coworker from Walmart was there, and I just like looked over and was like, it's 186,000 miles per second. And she's like, well, Al's in the house.
Al is here.
She wasn't
That's
impressed. She didn't care about my knowledge of the speed of light.
Oh,
Nobody-
that wasn't a part of the...
No.
That's funny. So are you excited for them, or?
I am, kind of. I wish that it's tough for the foster kids because sometimes things are like not constant, right? Like people want,
Yeah.
you know, things change, parents' situation change. They're like, well, we want them to be in a better. And there's some of ours that are maybe looking at potentially having some shifts in the future, and I wish that not like particularly for any selfish reasons. They're not going back with their parents yet.
Right.
It's not that kind of shift. It's like, well, we want them to be like together with some other people, or maybe in a different kind of home, or like, it just I understand the reasoning, but to me, it's like, well, they just got started in school, and you're gonna like yank them out and maybe put them somewhere else, and then like even if they get to stay in the same school, it's like an hour bus drive, because they will do that. Like they'll try to keep them as stable as possible and keep them in the same school, but
Right.
I might be blinded
That's
too.
a lot for the kid.
Yeah. Might be blinded somewhat by just being like, I'd rather not lose the ones that aren't troublemakers.
Right, and like, do you want them to have a loving home, and 100% that they're gonna be loved in your home?
Oh, you stupid lag! Stupid lag.
Oh.
Lag hag. Magag.
So, I don't know how much the other two talked about it, but we have been obsessed with Sky Factory.
Yeah? I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys got to go there. I could not have been more bored when we played Sky Factory on Wednesday. I was just like, here I am jumping up and down on a tree.
Well,
tree
that's
grew.
definitely like the beginning, and the beginning is a lot more difficult than like what it seems like. There's definitely been a few times, and I played on the plane by myself, like obviously not in a realm or anything like that.
You just brought your laptop?
And yeah,
I can't stand having my laptop out in the plane. It feels so like, I don't know, performative and like wrong. Laptops are so huge and planes are so small.
Mine is really small.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's like a tablet laptop.
I sat next
And
to a
so-
dude who was like editing pictures on the plane last time I was on a plane, and I was just
that's
like,
funny.
I don't know. It felt like, why? Just do that. I don't know. Like,
Can you sleep on planes?
no, I'd just rather read a book or
Yeah, me
something. I
neither.
wouldn't mind doing. Well, I haven't. Like, I probably could, but it's like, oh, I'm here for an hour. I'm not gonna. I'm not tired enough to take a nap.
Right.
So I don't ride planes that
I'm
often either.
definitely
So that's a thing.
not one of those people that can sleep on a plane at all. So ours was like about 3 hours, and I was getting very ready to be off the plane towards the end of it. And I've flown like internationally before, but there's just something about sitting for that long, because I didn't get up to do it, like use the restroom or anything, and so I was like, okay, I'm ready to be done with this.
It doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, I mean,
didn't bring-
I'm glad with the result.
You didn't bring your
I'm
Switch or
happy to
anything?
be here. No, you know what? Joe said that when we got here. He was like, "Did you guys bring your Switch?" We were like, both were like, didn't even remotely think about it.
Wow. The only thing
But I
that
played
would have
Sky
like
Factory
made
the
me not
entire
think
time.
of doing it is because like my kids might be sad because they would be gone for several days, and then I would still
Right.
be like, you know what? I'm gonna be on a plane. I'm gonna kick my Switch.
Right. Well, I played Sky Factory, but my mouse kept on dying because I had bad batteries in it, and that didn't stop me from playing. So I'd play like maybe 30 seconds with my mouse, and then like 2 minutes with my trackpad, and then my mouse would start working again. So I'd use that until it died, and then it was very slow moving.
I was gonna say that it seems, especially early games, like the enemies are not a big part of that game.
Yeah.
So it's like some games are good like that, where you don't. It's like you have to react, like, oh, what would you, pixel perfect precision. Like you can just sort of work your way through it.
Right. Yeah, definitely. But I could tell what you were feeling of the whole, I'm just sitting here doing weird stuff, and I got to the point where I was like, I just don't want to play this anymore. And then we started playing here, and on the server it was a lot more fun because like everybody was participating and stuff like that. So
I'm gonna save this baby. There's a baby pigman here. I'm gonna save him.
you save them.
No, don't die! I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you.
Why would they be dying?
He's just in the lava. No. I said you're welcome.
Are you dumping water on him?
No, he was sitting in the lava for the whole time, and then because you can't dump water in the Nether, it's not possible.
Really?
Yeah, just disappears.
I did not know that.
Turns to steam, I guess. Anyway,
Interesting.
he didn't start like being damaged by the lava until I walked up to him, and then he was like.
Oh.
I don't know if the server was like weirdly configured or what that was.
I need wood.
You've met Penny now, Joe's
Yep.
dog. How is Penny?
Penny is adorable. It took a little bit of warming up, but I have been inducted into the friend group. She is getting a lot better with Tony, but definitely still very hesitant with him.
Did he do did Joe talked about, I don't know if he talked about it on the Netherblock last week. Oh, and I think we lost the Netherblock last week, so it probably definitely
we
didn't
did.
get recorded, but he talked about how he has a process, sort of having Penny meet new people where he puts a treat like around them and then they just gotta sit real still and maybe she
It's
comes.
definitely what he did. It was humorous, but it was hard. Poor Penny is just so anxious, a little ball of anxiety. But yeah, it definitely worked, but she barked for a solid maybe the entire time that we were there until we went to lunch. And then for a while when we came back.
That sounds annoying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't bad.
That's
I
some
feel
of
more
what
bad
having
for
kids
than
is
in-
like, depending on the
Yeah.
child.
I know he put TNT up here. Oh no, he didn't because that went away. Ha ha ha. Tony.
Did he
Suck
roll
on
himself
that.
back?
Yeah, we rolled the entire thing back.
Why did
Because-
that? I know Joe lost his. Oh, because we didn't want to be too close to the end without a recording.
Yeah. Yeah,
Tony.
exactly.
So there's a lost episode that's lost because Joe's microphone came unplugged last week, like 6 seconds into the recording. And I'm looking over at my recording now just to make sure my microphone's still going.
Yeah, ours is going to.
And Tony got to roll back his death that he definitely did experience.
Yep, and he lost his bow, so I'm sure he was happy to be able to do that because I did an awesome prank on him and it totally worked.
What was the prank? I don't know if I ever actually heard that detail.
So there's an achievement, maybe not even achievement, I think it's just like a
I do
kill.
know that actually, but go ahead.
Yeah, and he fell for it. And I was very proud of myself, but...
Well, that, so people didn't get to see it, so I'm going to tell them. Komette had Tony lay down in a bed in the Nether, which, a heads up for everybody who Komette tries to get you in bed when you're in the Nether. She's a Jezebel.
Seducing.
And it's gonna be bad for you because the beds blow up in the Nether, and when you try to sleep on them. And Tony knew that for some reason, but thought Komette had modded the game or something. So
I don't know. I think he just forgot. Like,
it just wasn't front of mind. Like, I'm sure if you'd asked him, like, what happens if you sleep in a bed in the Nether, he would have told you, like, oh, you blow up. But it just wasn't like front of mind for him at the time, so he decided to go ahead and sleep in the Nether, and didn't work out, and he blew up.
Nope. Yep.
And then
I was victorious. He
was
mad because he lost his bow and he was gonna roll it back, and we're like, no, you can't do that. That's not how this works. Because he's already done that once. He's used his power for bad.
Wasn't there a were you right over lava with the bed? Is that why you lost the bow? Because usually you die, like you can go get your stuff back.
No, I think it just broke.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was just its time. I don't even know if he has it still.
It had been suffering long enough.
Yeah, it was its time to go.
And to go up to upstate and play with all the other bows.
Exactly. We're right at
so
45.
Close to the
You want to go over for the in-between times?
I don't know. Joe's the one who had a timer up, and I think he's the one who cued Tony to stop, so...
he just checked up on me.
Okay. Should we sign out?
But he said to go over a little because of the difference in, like...
What's gonna happen if this is, like, 30 minutes long instead of 45? We're gonna unsubscribe. Like, they're not working hard enough.
Yep. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Oh, wait, no. I'm actually not worried. Joe said if we get 1,000 patrons come out, he said I could go to the Sharknado Alive theme park ride in Malaysia.
Oh.
Or Kuala
In
Lumpur.
Malaysia? Oh my god. Okay.
Well,
that's funny.
I'm sure the plane ticket will be expensive, but the actual staying there probably won't be very bad.
Yeah, we were talking about how Thailand would be a lot of fun because it's dirt cheap there. But
are you saying
like,
people from Thailand are dirty?
Ticket.
What are you implying? Why are you a racist, Komette?
I
you use the
don't
word
even know where
dirt
that
in
came
Thailand,
from.
and you never use the word.
I said dirt cheap. That's an expression. I'm not racist. Don't you put that evil on me. I'm not Tony. Tony level racism. Okay, that's at 46. Maybe that's enough.
Yeah, 1 more minute. That was it.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know how this works.
Care. That's what I'm saying. If it was 43 minutes.
Joe, what do you want us to do? How much over do you want us to go?
All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Joe's not in charge of this one. Really, all joking aside, and racism about Malaysians, if you become a patron, it does help keep the wheels turning, and it really helps us keep doing what we're doing. So we appreciate it if you're over there and check that out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, we'd really, really love it if you do that. We will see you guys next week with another one. We'll be back in our regular configuration, we think. Yes?
I will be on vacation.
Except for Komette, so no dream stories.
No dream stories, no ex-boyfriends. You guys can cleanse yourself of stories from me.
We'll see you guys
awesome.
later.
Thank you guys so much. See ya. Bye.